Welcome to Haunt Weekly.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this is Haunt Weekly, a weekly podcast for the haunted attraction horror entertainment community. Whether you're an actor, owner, or just plain aficionado, we aim to be a podcast for you. And we return to you once again with what I hope is a more fun podcast.
It seems like it will be.
It should be a much more fun. Last time around we did a fairly serious one. Talked about haunt prices and talked about a lot of heavy topics, basically the business side of things.
Right.
So, talking about whether haunts are recession-proof or not. Got a little heavy, I admit it. So, to provide some balance to that, we're doing a topic that's pretty much deliberately silly.
Yes.
So, yeah, we're excited about this one. We're going to be talking about the fast food mascots, why they're all serial killers.
Yeah.
And each of them pretty much are in our theory. And we're going to offer suggestions for using them, or rather, likenesses of them in your haunt.
Right.
I think this is going to be an interesting idea. But anyways, if you like this weird balance of serious and not serious stuff, you probably like a lot of our previous episodes too. Definitely take time. Check them out at hauntweekly.com, Haunt Weekly on Twitter, Haunt Weekly on Facebook, youtube.com/Haunt Weekly is the YouTube channel. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. And yes, we are planning sometime before the new year to return to live podcasts once we get our studio cleaned back out.
Oh, I just figured we'd do it in the new year. Start the year off there.
Okay, we'll start the year off there. That actually sounds good too. We really hadn't discussed this.
No. You're just putting things out there.
But sometime very soon we'll be returning to live podcasts.
Yes.
Sundays, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Find out more, facebook.com/Haunt Weekly. That is where we do it. All right, folks. Now, last week, we did the whole conversation about are haunted attractions recession-proof? And we put out the arguments both for and against that idea. And it was, like I said, a very heavy episode. But one of the topics I asked, because I was very curious about this, was what have haunt prices done in your area?
Yes, and we got several responses.
We got a lot of responses to it. And I'm just going to kind of bundle it in like a general thing. Because the general consensus seems to be that haunt prices have been going up. Now, some areas have not seen as drastic as we've observed in our area and areas near us. But like we noted in like one of our friends' haunts, I think it was Chris Gay's haunt, went from donation only to recommended like $10 a ticket.
Yeah.
Or left behind a suggested donation of $10 and went to a hard ticketing system. Which honestly, if you're a charity haunt, that makes a lot of sense to do that.
Yes, it does.
Because, and home haunts, obviously, you can't do that because you don't want to be a business. But if you have a charity haunt, yeah, you can do that because you've already gone through the rigmarole of all the permits and all the hassle.
Right.
It makes sense to ensure that you get paid for the work you do and that the charity you're trying to support gets the maximum benefit it can.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, still obviously offer opportunities to donate more, but, it makes sense. Just make sure that every visitor is a paying customer, not someone you're losing money on. So that makes a lot of sense to me. So there's a lot of great answers, and I'm going to take some of them, and I don't want to talk too much about it, because what I want to do is I'm going to get more data, because I have actually been working on something kind of on the quiet, and we've got some time coming up with holidays, that I may just be able to sit there with some Christmassy alcoholic beverages and do a spreadsheet and do some maths. Because I want to find out exactly how big and how fast haunts have been increasing in prices. And then what I'm going to do, the plan right now, the tentative plan, is I'm going to look at some of the big name haunts. And I've got multiple ideas on how I'm going to choose the haunts I gauge. And I'm going to use the Wayback Machine at archive.org to go back through previous years of their sites and find out what their prices were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, etc. So I think this will be an interesting episode.
Yeah.
Be very number heavy, but that's the idea I have. Let me know what you think about it. You know all the places to follow us. Let us know. Leave a comment, send us an email. If you think this would be an interesting topic, let us know. It will require more work than I usually do into these, admittedly. But yeah, I think it'd be an interesting one. Something I've been thinking about a lot because I got a feeling I'm going to find some unpleasant news out. You know?
Yeah.
But, anyways, that brings us to this week's question of the week, though, which is still scary, but in a different way.
Well, it's on topic.
It's on topic. Okay, Crystal, what is this week's question of the week?
Who is the scariest fast food mascot to you?
Yeah, because we're going to be talking about a bunch of fast food mascots, and here's the thing. They're all fucking creepy.
Yes.
There's no wrong answer here, folks.
No.
I mean that completely literally. You can make a case for every single one. In fact, we're going to do it. We're going to make the case for all of them.
Yes. Well, all of the big ones.
All the big ones.
If you've got one...
Oh, if you got like a regional one, definitely clue us in on that.
Yeah, not only clue us in, but feel free to drop a photo in the comment as long as it's, family friendly.
Yeah, and the only one we're not including in this of the quote-unquote major ones, we're not including the goddamn weird fucking things from the Quiznos ad.
Yeah.
Because that's just too scary. We can't really include that. We're not traumatizing people here. We have to have a hard cap on how scary we go as an industry. Because those Quiznos puppy thingies are just terrifying as hell. And no, I'm not bringing them up. So anyways, but we do. It is an even-numbered episode. That means it's time to do conference reminders. Crystal, real fast, would you like to kick us off?
Sure. January 11th through the 13th, it's Halloween and Party Expo in Las Vegas, Nevada, and everybody knows what this story is here.
Yeah. It's
basically a giant trade show floor where you can buy things for stores. They do have some cash and carry usually, and it used to be co-located with HauntCon, but HauntCon has been
HauntCon's in the wind right now. We don't know what's up with HauntCon.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really cool thing, and it's a really good way to see what might be big next year in terms of props, in terms of costumes, and things like that.
Yeah, go see what Spirit's going to carry.
Yeah, go see what Spirit and Kmart and Walmart and all of them are going to have, because you might need to know that.
So HalloweenPartyExpo.com.
If you're in the area especially, I recommend it, because like I said, we toured the floor 2 years when it was here in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very interesting, actually. I actually do feel kind of enlightened by it. And what's fascinating is, and one thing that a lot of haunters enjoy complaining about when they go, is like you'll see the props from haunt makers, like the haunt designer people will make something, and then someone rips it off and tries to get it in the spirit.
Yeah.
So, hey, be the first on that drama, if nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
All right, after that, January 21st to the 23rd in Owensboro, Kentucky, it is Fear Expo Live at the Owensboro Convention Center. Features a trade show, an overnight haunt tour, and a Friday after party. FearExpoLive.com.
Then, February 19th through the 20th, it's Haunt X DIY, Haunters and Halloween Expo in Pomona, California at the Fairplex Building 9. It features an asylum costume party on Saturday the 19th. HauntX.com for more info.
All right, then the Big Daddy, March 17th through the 20th in St. Louis, Missouri. It's Transworld's Halloween and Attraction Show at the America Center, co-located with Transworld's Christmas Show and the Room Escape Show. Still waiting on event announcements, but you'll find those and much more at the Ha Show, HAASHOW.com.
May 13th through the 15th, it's the West Coast Haunters Convention in Portland, Oregon. It will be at the Doubletree Hotel. The organization is a nonprofit that donates to professionals that work with autism. We did not know that until this year.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like right in the center of their site, and I think it's just such a small font, I didn't notice it. I think it's been there like the whole time, and it's just flagrantly, I've visited that site dozens of times and never seen it.
Yeah, exactly.
So apologies, guys.
Yeah. They're doing a tour of Dark Hour. I believe that was virtual, you said?
Well, yeah, they did the virtual Dark Hour tour. Sorry, that was supposed to be deleted, but that's already happened.
Okay. And they have 2 great-looking parties, a costume contest and a foam dart war, which that sounds like fun.
Yeah. Basically, they've set aside, I think, 5 minutes it is on the trade show floor on the last day for a giant Nerf war.
Mm-hmm.
If that doesn't sound fun to you, what the hell's wrong with you?
Well, then, if it doesn't sound fun, don't visit hauntersconvention.com, and if it does, do.
Yeah, please do. That sounds excellent. Yeah. Right, but yeah, looks like a very, very fun convention. 2 parties. They haven't announced a haunt tour for the conference itself, but they're the ones that organized the virtual Dark Hour tour that happened a while back. A lot of neat stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. And are we doing the last one?
Nope.
Okay, moving on then. We accidentally uncovered one in our notes. All right, folks. All right, so like I said, last week we had a super serious, y'all, topic about our haunts recession proof. And we like doing those from time to time. We like being a serious-ish podcast, but we also like having fun around here.
Yes.
So we wanted to loop you all in on a conversation that has, I wouldn't quite say been dominating, but been dominating our conversations locally for a little while now. And basically, we find every fast food mascot creepy.
Yeah.
Now, I know the one you're thinking about. Yes, them too. And that one. Oh, and that one too. Yes, they're all creepy. And I mean, and let's be honest, it's kind of hard not to have a creepy mascot when you're peddling ostensibly unhealthy food. Mm-hmm. And this isn't me judging. I love the shit out of some fast food.
Yes. And we're not just talking about the classic models of the which are
we're talking about the modern day one.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
We're just going into the modern day ones.
Yeah, Jesus Murphy, if you want some fucking nightmares tonight, go look up the original Ronald McDonald commercial. If that does not keep you awake at night, nothing will.
Yeah.
That is genuinely one of the most terrifying. I'm not even scared of clowns. Mm-hmm. Clowns do not bother me. That fucking got me, man. That is terrifying. And the fact that everyone's like, oh, this is fun, just makes it so much worse. Like, everyone's reaction to this obviously creepy.
Well, so we should talk about that a little bit more when we get to
it. Yeah, we'll get to them. Because it actually, some of the elements do play in later. But anyways, so yeah. But here's the thing. We've been also thinking about this in connection with haunted attractions. A lot of haunted houses, and we do mean a lot, feel very comfortable using your Jasons, your Freddys, your Michael Myers, all the stock horror characters that you can think of.
Yeah.
Even though those are completely owned by other people. That's other people's intellectual property, and you're using them. And the only reason, bigger legal trouble hasn't happened is because we're such a small industry, the movie studios don't give a flip.
Yes. And, we're all for being original. We've said it time and time again. Come up with original characters.
Yes.
If you have a choice between taking somebody else's idea and coming up with your own, come up with your own.
Absolutely. And here's the thing about this, what we're pushing here. We're not necessarily saying, God, why is that so difficult to say? Not necessarily saying. But anyways, that you use these mascots direct. Mm-hmm. But you can use parodies and similar things to it to get it to clearly vibe it, but not be it.
Yeah, exactly.
So there are ways to play with this and still, make it a clear parody rather than, just simply having the Wendy's girl in your haunt, for example.
Yeah. And a reason that you would do that
is intellectual property again. And because the more different you make it, the more now, once again, I'm not a lawyer, this is not legal advice, diddly-diddly-dee. But the more different you make something, the more likely it is to be a fair use and to be a non-infringement. And that includes both the copyright and trademark aspects of this. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the thought process here, though, going through my head, is if you take Michael Myers, Freddy, Jason, et cetera, and you make them murderers in your haunt, that's what they are in the movies.
Yeah.
All you're doing is literally copy-pastaing someone else's IP. But if you take someone's fast food mascot, which is supposed to be a happy-go-lucky character of, good time capitalism, and make them a cold-blooded murderer, creepy as hell, creepier than they already are, then that is obviously parody, commentary, and criticism of these characters. Mm-hmm. It's much more likely to be a fair use. It's much more likely to be legal. Now, I'm not saying guaranteed not infringing or whatever, but I can pretty much guarantee you taking Freddy, Jason, and so forth is infringing.
Yes.
Here, at least you have a legitimate argument for how you're not simply ripping them off.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and something that kind of proves the point of this and how it is transformative is Max Sabbath.
Yeah, the band Max Sabbath. If you haven't heard of these guys, check them out. Just pause this. We'll be here when you come back. Go check out some of their stuff. Check out the videos.
Yes.
Go to YouTube. This is a YouTube job. Yeah, it's well worth it. They're basically a Black Sabbath cover band who have turned all the songs into fast food themed.
Yeah.
Or food themed more broadly, I should say.
Yeah.
And they dress up like demented versions of the McDonald's mascots.
Yeah.
And I've seen them live.
Yeah, we have.
It's one of the weirdest shows you'll ever attend. I can guarantee you that. We saw them at Oakley Dokley.
Yes.
They were a double act. And Oakley Dokley, for those that don't know, is the Ned Flanders-based death metal band. Yes, that Ned Flanders from The Simpsons. If you haven't heard of Oakley Dokley, pause this video, check them out now. Once again, go to YouTube. I highly recommend White Wine Spritzer and Reading Education.
Yes.
They have full music videos for both of those, and they are awesome.
Yes. Those are our two favorites. You can decide who likes which one more.
Yeah. Honestly, I just, it was so funny because when we saw them, the very first time we saw them live, we went for Beatallica, which is one of my longtime bands I've had a lot of fun with.
Right.
And I was surprised to see them go on tour because they are a band, Jesus Christ, a lot of obscure bands.
Yeah, I know.
They're a band that mashes up Beatles and Metallica songs, and it's really good. It really works. They have great hooks and great music. And so I love Beatallica, and I was happy that they were touring, and they were touring with Oakley Dokley, and I'm like, okay, well, we'll stick around for a song or two of Oakley Dokley, but then we'll leave. We'd planned not to stay for the whole show.
I thought Oakley Dokley opened.
No, they were the main
okay.
act. They were the main act.
Okay.
And we had planned to stay for a song or two, and after one song, we were just instantly hooked.
Yeah.
Frozen in place, couldn't wait to leave. I'm standing there with the guys from Beatallica in the crowd, and we're just all in awe at this performance.
Yeah.
It's got to be seen. So anyways, enough about obscure bands that nobody gives a rat's ass about from Vermont Weekly. Well, let's end that section. But I mean, the point I'm trying to make is I don't find the horror icons that creepy. These guys, these mascots are terrifying. I would legitimately pick a dozen fights with Michael Myers before I decided to take on the Burger King King.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing today. Is we're discussing the horror behind the fast food mascots, and maybe some ways they could be included in a haunted attraction if you wanted to do your parody or your take on them in a haunt. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Why don't you lead us off, Crystal?
All right. So we're starting off with Wendy's girl, Wendy. She's based on a real person.
Yeah.
Wendy Thomas, Dave Thomas's daughter. He expressed regret naming the restaurant chain after her.
Yeah, she's the fourth daughter. And basically, when they were struggling to come up with a name or a mascot for the business, his cute little redhead daughter said, her! Because he apparently was not super imaginative.
Yeah. But that said, Human Wendy is still a spokesperson for the company.
So it didn't obviously traumatize her too bad.
Right. It's the only woman
yeah.
that's a mascot
for a fast food chain.
a fast food chain.
Yeah, I could not think of any others. If you can think of another, let me know. But yeah. I legit couldn't. I went through it twice. I mean, granted, there are a lot like the goddamn Quiznos dogs that don't have a gender because they're just terrors from outer space.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And it's the only mascot that's featured in the logo.
Yeah. And that's something that's changed a lot. It used to be like Ronald McDonald and the Burger King were sometimes featured in the logo, not anymore.
Yeah. So the mascot, not the real person, clearly a serial killer.
Absolutely. No doubt.
Perpetually happy. Nobody smiles that much.
Yeah, she always smiles. Have you ever seen the Wendy's girl not smile? No, you haven't. She's always smiling. And by the way, we're discounting that series of commercials that came out a couple of years ago where they had a new live actor playing her.
Yeah.
Like that's not canon.
No.
We're talking about the actual mascot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Dresses childlike, and you said despite being too old, and I could play that either way because,
Yeah, I'd always thought that she was supposed to be an adult, but then again, she could be a child.
Yeah, I don't know. When was the image captured?
Good question. I do not know the answer to that.
Well, I also don't know that it's, wrong.
I don't know that the image is representative of her either.
Yeah, and I don't know that it's wrong for adults to wear cute clothes that are in a style that a kid might wear.
All right. We'll leave it alone. I find perpetual smiling while wearing a baby doll dress extremely creepy, though.
Okay. Well, yes. I can see that. But
that's some fucking insane asylum shit there, I'm just saying.
Well, that's why that is something that you alluded to, was that the photo was probably taken in an insane asylum.
Sorry, I didn't realize I did.
Yes.
Oh shit, I did. It's in the notes even, Jesus.
Yes, exactly.
I'm smarter than I thought.
Or you just have the same train of thought.
Yeah. But yeah, it's...
quiet and innocent looking. It's, that's never
Never a good combination.
So you're not wrong. But you do have me as an example.
Yeah, well, you know,
to.
I've lived with you for how long now? 20 years? 20 plus years? I might have learned a thing or two about the quiet type.
Yeah. You think that she would use knives or deadly traps.
Yeah, that was my thought, was she seemed like someone that's really interested into either torturing her victims or just stabby, stab, stab.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure which it would be, but yeah, she seems like someone that takes a lot of joy out of murder.
Yeah, I think she would make it fun, like playing kids games in the woods, like hide and seek or something, only, you know, you never come out.
Yeah, could be that too. I don't know. There's a lot of possibility with this particular type of killer.
Yeah.
There really is. So it's something to think about there.
Yeah, so for using it in a haunt, though, any of those scenarios where you see that happening would work. But also, you know, don't just have a bloodied Wendy's girl.
Yeah.
It may not be enough.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This has got to be, it's more about the face.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more about the face. And the Bloody Wendy girl has almost the exact same outfit as Dorothy.
Yeah.
Which is kind of unfortunate because she's not Dorothy.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're two very different characters. And that's one of the reasons why it strikes me as age inappropriate for that outfit, because Dorothy was supposed to be much younger than Judy Garland was when she played her.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons that struck out at me. But yeah, this is similar to a creepy doll type thing. She's very uncanny valley.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody smiles that much. Nobody's that still. Nobody's that, tee-hee. Nobody's that happy all the time. This is an uncanny valley play.
So more of a creep factor.
Yeah, it's more of a creep factor than it's going to be any kind of a startle. Okay, moving on. One of my personal favorites on this list, especially after I learned a little bit more about it, is Colonel Sanders. This is similar to the Wendy's girl in a lot of ways, with one big difference.
Mm-hmm.
See, he's creepy, he's always smiling again, and he's almost certainly hiring dark intents. Hiding his dark intents. Mm-hmm. You know that this guy has something sinister up his sleeve. There's just no way. You know what I mean? So here's the thing. He's also based on a real person. But here's something I did not know until doing this research. The real Colonel Sanders was not a military colonel. Mm-hmm. Colonel is an honorary title awarded by the state of Kentucky. So it's a bit like getting an honorary doctorate from a university. He's a colonel, but not a military colonel. He never achieved that rank. It's unclear to me if he was in the military. He died in 1980. And here's the thing about him that I think pushes him over the edge as having great haunt potential, is he has been used all over. If you're curious about it, check out what the WWE did with him in one of their games. They basically made it so that every character in the game can be dressed up as Colonel Sanders. It's just absolutely bananas. And it's very, very creepy to watch. And so, yeah, see what WWE did with him. And the main thing about him is that he has been played by everyone. In fact, in recent years, they've done a rotating thing where different actors, several really big name ones, like Jason Alexander did him, if I recall correctly. A bunch of big name ones have played him. And so dozens of actors, men have played him, women have played him, tall people, short people, thin people, fat people. Everybody's played him. All types have played him. And he's someone that seems to take over other people's bodies and turn them into a white suit wearing mustache and goateed version of themselves.
Yes.
Who talks with just like Foghorn Leghorn.
Pretty much.
Say, son.
Yes. And the fact that he can also take over animals is disturbing too.
Considering, he's KFC.
Yeah.
Which means he's taken over animals, and probably including chickens at some point, and still decided to genocide those bastards. What horrible things are chickens doing? The Colonel Sanders, no, fuck those in particular. I've taken over animals, fuck chickens in particular.
Well, if you had to be one for a day, you might want to come out with the same outcome.
Yeah, no kidding. Nope, never want to do that again. Only way to to prevent that is to kill them all. So yeah, using an haunt. Here's the thing: Colonel Sanders is ethereal. He doesn't exist as a human. I've just decided this.
Yeah.
Because, like we said, too many people have played him, and there have been video game adaptations where there was like 6 Colonel Sanders in a ring. So yeah. I'm telling you, he's ethereal. He doesn't exist. He's not a human. He takes over people. So basically, get a bunch of people dressed up in the same way. Mm-hmm. And once again, you can do your own take on this. You don't have, obviously, you probably don't want to do the Colonel directly. Not that it would really matter in a haunted attraction, because I don't think many people would get that. Because that's the thing. And it's like, is it Colonel Sanders or just a weird Southern gentleman?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to say, because that white seersucker suit and all that. It's you know what I mean? It's kind of weird. But yeah, get a bunch of actors wearing the same outfits. It's not much of a startle, but trust me, as someone who's actually done this gag in a haunt, it is really effective.
Well, I think it would be really disconcerting if they practice together so that they would move in time and say their phrases in time.
Yeah, like the twins from The Shining or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, one year we did a thing where we had three actors who were roughly the same build wear the same mask and pretend to be the same character.
Yeah.
And it was really great because I was convinced no one would pay enough attention to it to get it. Because people don't pay that much attention on the whole. But there were several cries, "How the hell did he get over here?"
Yeah.
And because, yeah, they were paying that amount of attention, they didn't realize that one was like 6 inches taller than the other two.
Yeah.
They had roughly the same build, but not the same height.
Well, and, that's something that haunts have incorporated before. Look at Rise's Asylum. They have actors dressed in similar costumes, and you think it's the same person.
But it's not. It's...
Spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler alert. But here's the thing. That is one of the reasons that is such an actor's... we know from talking to everyone there that's where the best of the best actors go.
Yeah.
Because they have to be, because the two people playing that one character have to act perfectly consistent with one another, despite never really seeing how the other one does the role.
Yeah.
It's difficult. It's a real challenge. But yeah, you can do that and make it work. And I never noticed that they were different people. But never noticed. And now, next time I go through it, I'm going to be paying specific attention to that. And I probably still won't fucking see it.
No. Yeah, you won't.
I'm very sure I won't, because between the makeup and finding people with the same height and build,
Yeah, because I mean, the thought had crossed my mind, but they're so close that it doesn't matter. And
they act so similarly, and the mannerisms are the same. The little ticks and things are just all in line. You're not going to notice, even if you do know. You'll forget all about it halfway through the haunt, trust me. So yeah, but seriously, this is a great opportunity for a character or a type of character that you can do that in multiple people playing role.
Yeah.
And the reason is because the outfit is so distinct. People will be paying attention to the outfit, not necessarily the dimensions of the person behind it.
Yeah, and you don't even have to get a white suit. You could get, neon green or purple or whatever.
Yeah, you could go David S. Pumpkins with this shit.
You could.
Yeah, realistically, the amazing power of Colonel Sanders is this idea can apply to almost any gaudy outfit. And it's a gaudy outfit. We don't dress like that in the South.
Okay, so I know a few people who do.
Sure.
But, yes, there are a few people who love their seersuckers.
Yeah, it's true. But it's just New Orleans, and it's like 2 months a year you can wear that.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on.
All right, the Chick-Fil-A Cows. To be clear, we're not fans of Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
we haven't eaten there in years.
Yeah, and not really interested in going. I mean, honestly, we live in New Orleans. Why would we sacrifice our principles to go to Chick-fil-A? We have all the great fried chicken in the world.
Exactly. There's a fried chicken festival here.
There's literally... we have gas station chicken that kicks the shit out of nearly every chain chicken.
Yes, if you come here, try Brothers Chicken. It's awesome.
It's gas station chicken. It'll be served to you by someone probably with a cigarette in one hand and a bad attitude. And it's great. And it's got all the flavor.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on.
But the thing about the cows is that not only are they gigantic,
Yeah, they are huge cows, and
they are.
yeah, people don't realize that. But to get those cows on like the billboards
Yeah,
to look like cows, they're like 10 feet tall, man. They're
yeah,
huge.
they are. But they beg you to eat other things. So we're thinking they're probably not going to be picky.
Yeah, why not eat human?
Yeah, why not?
Why not encourage us to eat human?
Yeah, why not zombify, corpseify the cows and have them begging for to eat humans?
Yeah, and the important distinction is they are not serial killers themselves, but they are encouraging serial killers.
Exactly.
They're more of the Charles Manson of this community. Didn't actually do anyone themselves, but really were responsible and ethically for it.
Yeah.
By excessive encouragement. So it's more of a supporting role.
It's somebody coming up saying, "Eat your friends."
Yeah.
Using in a haunt begs to be a prop.
Yeah, it has to be. Definitely. Because the cows don't move. They're the only They're the only mascot I can think of that we've never seen do anything.
Yeah.
Other than hold the signs.
You know, I've seen a few haunts that have incorporated farm animals for whatever reason. This would fit right in there.
Yeah. Why not have the cow be all like diseased looking, or maybe even some mad cow disease?
Yeah, exactly.
Luckily, in the United States, we don't have to worry about mad cow disease as much as...
Yeah, and I think this would be good outside of a haunt to get everybody kind of relaxed and laughing.
Oh, this could be a photo booth opportunity.
Exactly. Relaxed and laughing before you go in.
Yeah. Just have it saying an "Eat More Human" sign, especially if Hooman is Hooman.
Yeah, exactly.
Sign, something like that. Yeah, and it's kind of a one-off joke. But as you said, for the photo booth or a photo op, or, just as a laugh break between scenes, maybe.
Yeah.
Like you're entering maybe like a swamp area or something.
I would go, my brain would totally go, what the fuck? Why is that there? If I come out of something, scary and then into just like a restaurant with the giant cow.
And it's got like "Eat More Chicken," but the chicken's crossed out and Hooman is misspelled.
Yeah. I would be totally perplexed.
Yeah, that would throw you off your game and then make you lower your shields a little.
Yeah. That would be brain breaking.
Because that's one of the things. I think haunts have gotten a little too hesitant at incorporating humor.
Yeah.
And I think the reason for that is they want to be scary, 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 attack, attack, attack. And I get that tendency.
Yeah.
But if you've got a haunt that goes on longer than like 5 minutes... So, we don't have to worry about it. Our haunts at home haunt were short. But if you got a haunt that goes on in 5 minutes, you've got to give people emotional breaks, or they're just going to shut down, and their shields are going to be permanently up, and you can't penetrate. You've got to give them breaks. You've got to give them a moment to catch their breath and feel safe again. Otherwise, you can't really scare them again. That's why a lot of haunts have diminishing returns on the scares as they go through.
Yeah.
Here you go. Here's an easy-made joke for you.
Yeah.
Ready-made in the box, easy to do. Just buy a 10-foot cow. No, maybe not 10-foot cow.
You can make it.
All right. Now we're getting to my nightmares. The Burger King King. If I have to explain this one, why are you listening to this podcast? Excuse me. But seriously, the rendition that's been around now for quite a while. It's been over 10 years. I was going to say the new one, but it ain't that fucking new. It's been around at least a decade. Because remember those Xbox games they released? Sneak King and whatever. There was a bunch of others. Yeah, he was around before that. Basically, you got this fucking stilt giant.
Yeah.
With a giant plastic face and body. Because that's like the other weird thing. It's like it's not just the face that's plastic. His whole waist up.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever actually seen his legs other than like maybe briefly. His legs seem... Actually, no, wait, we have, and his legs seem normal.
Yeah, they're like tiny in comparison to the rest of them.
Yeah, because this is a dude wearing a plastic clamshell.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but basically, he's unemotive, he's unmoving, he's silent, and he somehow appears out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter where you are.
In bed? Oh, you're asleep? Oh, I'm sorry. Here's this creepy with a fucking plastic suit on offering you a croissant sandwich.
Yeah.
He sneaks into your bedroom. How you like that? Jesus Murphy, that's not right.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. This reminds me of the Whitest Kids You Know Bit, The Grapist. Where like the guys smashing the kids are starting. Of course, we're not going to give away the actual joke, and like the kids start screaming that the mascot broke into the room.
Yeah.
That's a reaction that I would expect.
Yes.
Why does nobody in these commercials go, "Holy shit"?
Why doesn't Santa get the same treatment whenever he breaks in?
Well, he did in one song, we know.
Yes.
And unfortunately for him, it did not go well.
Yes, if you're not following Jonathan's advent calendar.
Yeah, if you have me on Facebook, either as a friend or you can follow me. Yeah. All these are public. Jonathan Bailey, just follow me. You don't even have to add me as a friend if you don't want to. No. I understand completely. I've been doing an anti-Christmas advent calendar where one anti-Christmas song, or there's two today. Oh. I posted two today. Every day, and one of them was Cold-Blooded Christmas by Jean Lachua, which is just brutally violent. Yeah. And as I commented, that was my favorite one that found that year. That was because we've been building this list for a long time. There's 20 years more than 24. Yeah, I think the full list, which isn't itself the full list because we omitted a lot of songs deliberately. The full list is 96 songs, almost 7 hours. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, back to Burger King. Burger King. Sorry, yeah, we got sidetracked there. But yeah, he's always talking. So yeah, he's definitely a serial killer. He's got to be, and I think he's akin to like a Michael Myers. Yeah. He's someone that's slow moving, at least seems to be slow moving, until suddenly he appears out of goddamn nowhere, like an RKO. RKO. Yeah, it just comes out of nowhere, and sometimes he offers a sandwich, sometimes he offers death. Which, 50-50. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, I could see him like peeking around corners at groups, beckoning them to come forward, and then just disappearing when they get there. Or getting behind them after they're around the corner. Exactly. Because you could do that easily. We have only peek around the corner, come here, and then he runs around and finds an actor run and gets behind them. Exactly. You'd have to have a quick moving actor, but I've done exactly that shtick pretty much. It's possible if you're fast and spry. I don't know if at 41 I am. I was at 29. I don't know if you could in that costume either. Yeah, the costume adds a layer of challenge to it. But you could also shrink the costume down some. Yeah. But you still want a freakishly, garishly tall person. Or, I mean, a still walker wouldn't be able to move that fast. But I could see that working. You could do two. Yeah, it's true. Why not? Have a hiding spot. That's true. I mean, you're wasting actors at that point. Yeah, it's true. But then you have but not necessarily, because if you count a distract and a startle, you have an actor each playing a role. Yeah. And it could make that room or that zone work. Yeah. Just an idea. And so you do something like that. But yeah, I don't know. I just always found him, personally, he's my creepiest one. Yeah. We're getting into like the joint conversation piece at the very end. Yeah. When we talk about the most. But like of the ones I've seen on the regular, Burger King always is like, Jesus, why is this a mascot? How does this sell burgers? I don't know. And the thing is, once again, you don't have to do this with the Burger King. You probably shouldn't. You can do this with any costume that style. Yeah. And there are plenty that way. One of the things we like to do is because we don't have a lot of money, so when we have to buy masks for actors, we often get deliberately very static, very unfeeling, unmoving masks. And oversized. It's very unsettling, and they're not a lot of money. No. It's all uncanny. And once again, it's Uncanny Valley. But then you have the silence and the stealthiness. Man, you could really mess with some people with this. Just a big, unemotive creature that can appear out of nowhere and get super close to people and invade that comfort zone. Yeah, that is uncomfortable. Because people are uncomfortable with things that are in the Uncanny Valley, things that are bigger than a person should be, and things that get into their personal space. Yeah. The Burger King and any costume similar to it gets all 3 notes. Yeah. And not, let's see, bigger than a person or much, much smaller. Yeah. Not the wrong size. Average. Not people size. Than average. Yeah. We'll say average. That's because we have pattern recognition in our brains. We're trained to recognize patterns. We're trained to recognize something between these two heights as likely being a person. And anything that's outside that scope, even though plenty of people exist in that range, especially today, yes, plenty of people do exist out there, but our brains still take an extra minute to go, is that a person? Okay, it's still a person.
Yeah.
But there's that it creates a little discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. All right, next up.
All right, the McDonald's mascots.
Oh boy.
We're talking about them all.
Yeah, at
But
least
we're
briefly.
starting with Ronald.
Because we have to. Seriously, go watch that first Ronald McDonald commercial. It's in black and white. It's utterly terrifying. How the fuck did that ever make air?
Yeah, I don't know. So I don't know if they did this when you were little. I'm going to sidetrack a little bit. But Ronald McDonald would come to our town. He came to our town to a park, and they were giving out something. Maybe it was nuggets. Maybe it's the introduction of that.
Mm-hmm.
So the clown, the guy playing him was scouting the crowd to pull people up on stage. He spots my dad.
Oh boy.
My dad's not a small person. My dad locked eyes, and before he could get pointed to, ran and hid behind a tree.
Your dad, not known for either being small of stature or his cowardice.
No.
He's known for throwing hands if you startle him awake.
No, exactly. And he loves performing. But he was not doing that.
He is not shy, not scared, and he's great in a haunt because usually his fear reaction, and I've seen it firsthand, is to laugh.
Exactly.
You startle him, he usually chuckles.
Yeah.
He has a great laugh.
He does.
His scare chuckle is better than his chuckle, I think.
Yeah.
I can't really explain. It's a different pitch. It's just...
Yeah.
It's like warm and fuzzy. It's like Santa's chuckle. You know?
But yeah, seriously. So Ronald's creepy.
Yeah.
Clowns scare some people. Even, like, the old original version of this is definitely creepy.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's a happy clown.
He is.
He is perpetually happy. He's got the same thing going as the Wendy's girl in this regard. He's perpetually happy. And one of the things that makes him stand out, what's going to make him stand out in like a haunt environment, is haunts love to do the evil clown routine.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. I get it. Evil clowns, okay, fine. If you're scared of clowns, evil clowns are going to mess with you. I get that. But why not have some good clowns?
Over-enthusiastic,
good clowns, because that's creepy too.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see you. I'm so happy you're here.
The only time I've seen those in a haunt that I can recall, at least, was in the kids' area of that haunt we went to. That was that one, the Revelation.
Yeah, but they gave them all the same
lines.
freaking line.
Yeah, I didn't say they did it well.
Yeah.
And there may have been that one, I think maybe it was Folklore, that had a scene like that. But it wasn't. But once again, in both situations, it was a kids' area that was not meant to be scary. Yeah. And yet, I found them to be the most terrifying part.
Yeah.
Not because they're clowns, but because they are way too happy to be people. That's way too much enthusiasm for hanging out with me.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Like, my bartenders aren't that happy to see me, and I pay them. You know? So, yeah. That is really genuinely upsetting, and it can provide a good contrast to the evil clowns. So if you have some good clowns with the bad clowns, and believe me, if you want to know how to make a good clown creepy, Ronald McDonald is your fucking archetype.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because here's the thing, like, there are other happy clowns, like Bozo comes to mind as a happy clown. I never found Bozo creepy.
No.
He always managed to keep it dialed at the right level.
He's too goofy.
He's goofy. But he's not over-enthusiastically happy.
No.
He's goofy. He's silly. He's zany. Now, we watched this, Ellie and I watched this movie, Christmas movie in Riff Tracks last night called Whizzo the Clown. And that clown definitely was way too fucking happy and needs to take it down a notch. But Bozo always found that balance to not be creepy. Yet, Ronald, what balance?
I think Bozo's thing was that he was a real human that was just dead inside.
It was a little more crusty.
Exactly.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, now this is an interesting idea because I was thinking about how creepy Ronald is got me thinking about how haunts need to add more variety. If you're going to do clowns, add some variety to it. Just don't make it so that I go through your 3D scene, whatever, and every clown is an evil clown with fangs and teeth and whatever, and trying to gnash on me. Giving me an overly enthusiastic, happy clown can be just as, if not more, off-putting.
Yeah.
And especially if you combine the two so they play off each other, you can have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah. So now we talk about not only is Ronald creepy, but he's got all
The entire
of
cast and crew. I mean,
exactly. He's recruited people to help him. The Hamburglar, Grimace, Fry Guys.
I'm sure we missed a bunch, but I don't care. I can't be bothered. Give me arsehole.
That Bird Girl.
Oh yeah,
thing.
Bird Girl, whatever. Yeah, I forgot her name.
Maybe it's just Birdie. I don't remember.
I think it was Birdie. I think you're right. I think it was Birdie. But anyways, yeah, just play Five Nights at Freddy's to figure out what to do with them.
Yeah, exactly.
They're all basically animatronics that have people inside them. So yeah, Uncanny Valley. Use them in a haunt. Basically, make them distorted, damaged mascots. Once again, Five Nights at Freddy's is your blueprint for this type of thing. Seriously, I mean, I always thought because it also works with like Showbiz Pizza too, and Chuck E. Cheese. Those fucking weird animatronic bands.
Well, I'm just aging myself because I remember when these were the playground equipment outside of McDonald's, and you would climb up into them.
I remember the Birdie in particular had that thing that was like the spring in the ground and you rock back and forth on.
Yeah.
And then you knew you were too big when you leaned forward, and then Birdie's nose touched the ground and it sprang back up violently and like yeeted you to the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm amazed we didn't die on those.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Hamburglar that you climbed up into and like ran around inside of his head.
Yeah, around his hat specifically. His hat. Yeah, I think he ran around his hat. Yeah, I remember that place.
Yeah.
It's sad they got rid of those. I didn't know why they did.
I know. It's dangerous.
Oh, it was dangerous as fuck, and the lawsuits were coming from hither and yon. It was way too much legal risk. And mostly because they were terribly designed, every single one of them.
Yeah, and they usually incorporated an outdoor ball pit, which in Texas meant snakes got in there.
I'm pretty sure you could have caught COVID-19 in the 80s in the ball pit.
Yeah.
Fuck waiting until 2020. You could have gotten it 40 years early. Yeah. Be ahead of the curve on COVID-19. Get it early. In the 1980s. No, don't do that. But seriously, it's just, yeah, they got rid of them for good reasons, if we're being honest, but still, it does make me sad. All right, now we come to our main event. Who I believe... Okay, I still think Burger King is genuinely like the creepiest, but who we've had the most discussion about...
That's because this kicked it off.
Yeah, this was what kicked it off.
This is what kicked it off.
The alpha and the omega of this conversation.
Yes.
How about that?
Yes. Jack from Jack in the Box.
Holy shit, man. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I remember we were traveling to my parents.
Yeah.
We stopped at Jack in the Box.
Yeah, there's one Jack in the Box, and I think in the state of Louisiana. And it's in Baton Rouge.
There's two now.
Oh, two now, but there was one back then.
But they're both in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
So, we stop in, because normally we just did drive-through. This is like the first time we've been inside of a Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
And I noticed all the pictures on the wall have Jack in them.
Yeah. Doing normal, and I'm doing air quotes that y'all can't see, normal things.
I'm like
Jack is in an office.
Yeah.
Jack is putting on a golf course.
Exactly.
Jack is hanging with this weird family that are normal people. Like, just regular people.
I couldn't remember if Jack's family...
I think the wife was normal and his kids were Jack-headed. I think it might have been that.
Yeah.
It was weird. But you had all these quote-unquote normal things that Jack was doing. And that is just not right.
It's not. It's clearly something that's outside of...
Yeah.
Normal.
And here's the thing, and here's why this may be the creepiest, but it's a different kind of creepy. Burger King is your Michael Myers.
Yeah.
He's your Jason. He's that type of horror movie serial killer. Jack in the Box is fucking Ted Bundy. Jack in the Box is Dexter from, he's a more realistic serial killer.
Yeah. Because he just wants to be normal, but knows that he can't.
Yeah.
So then he tries to make scenarios fit him.
Yeah. And so, and here's the thing. This would work incredibly well in a haunt, I think. I could really see this working. Because all you have to do is have a clearly out-of-place costume character.
Yeah.
Pretending to be normal in a normal scene.
Yeah.
Just have a relatively normal scene of, family eating dinner or whatever, and have a completely out-of-place costume character.
Yeah. And have photos of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Everywhere. And if you have other actors, like if you did have the dinner scene going on, you could have the other actors being like tied to the chairs or tables, like they're not wanting to get there, to be there.
Yeah. Or if you don't have the actors for it, just put dummies where he clearly had a family trapped there, have the dummies tied to the chairs. He clearly had a family there, but they all fucking died because he doesn't know how to take care of humans.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Or he killed them when they pissed him off somehow. I mean, either or, let that implication just hang out there. Yeah. Either way, they died because they couldn't escape him.
Is his head supposed to be an ice cream cone?
I haven't figured it because it's upside down. The cone's coming out the top.
Like he's flipped his lid.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's weird.
Yeah. He is incredibly uncanny valley. And like I said, but what I love about his creepiness is how they always put him in those normal scenes. Yeah. Everything is normal except this weird ball-shaped head dude.
I know.
Just hanging out there with these dead fucking eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you don't know what he is.
No. He's not a species Jack. You can identify. His species is Jack. His gender is Jack, as far as I know.
Yeah.
I mean, his sexuality is Jack. He's just Jack. Mm-hmm. He identifies as Jack in every way, right down the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, it's like you don't know. You just know he's not human. Mm-hmm. And yet, here he is in these normal human scenes. It's alien in a way, but it's weirder than that somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just... Yeah, and you threw this in here about the idea of watching the Aphex Twin videos in general.
Yeah.
You really don't have to pick a specific one, but Come to Daddy is a great choice if you're going to start people.
Or Colonel Sanders, actually.
Yeah, it works for both this and Colonel Sanders because it does feature both the normal scenes,
right,
and of course everybody's the same person.
Yeah,
it's genuinely. So Aphex Twin has, or at least had, I don't know if he's still doing much, had a thing where he would put his face on everybody. And before,
but it's a distorted version of his face.
Version of it. And I do literally mean everyone. Like for a while, his sticker, like his band sticker,
right,
was this very sexy bikini lady, like big boobs and barely covered, and his face.
Yeah.
And I remember my roommate introduced me to Aphex Twin, and had the magnet or the sticker or whatever on somewhere on the wall. And one of our friends comes, "Hey, who's that hot chick?" Oh my God!
Yeah.
But yeah, it is deeply unsettling.
Yeah, I think that his face on the little kids, because it's disproportionate to the bodies and it's distorted, is more disturbing in the Come to Daddy
once again,
video.
because you're playing with the height game. Here's a full adult face, not in a full adult body.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And so, anyways, this is a lot to think about. I think the idea of exploring why these characters are so creepy and finding ways to exploit that in a haunted house is a great idea. Mm-hmm. Because this is a creep factor that almost everyone agrees exists.
Yeah.
Even people like me that aren't scared of clowns admit Ronald McDonald's fucking creepy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Don't give a shit about clowns. Ronald McDonald can go fuck himself. And seriously, especially the fucking early one. That one can fuck himself with a fire. I don't know how you'd fuck yourself with a fire. Find a way. Make it so. But no, so we almost all admit the creep factor here exists. And it just makes it so weird to me that these multi-billion-dollar corporations are like, that'll sell some burgers or some chicken.
Yeah, exactly.
What the hell? Anywho, point being... Should you do this? Probably not. Not directly, not the Mascots. I do think it's better because it's obviously different and offering commentary than just simply stealing Jason and all that.
Yeah.
But I think it's better than that. But still, ideally, the perfect thing to do would be to take these ideas and why these Mascots work on the creep factor and applying it to new characters in your haunt. And I think that'd be pretty easy to do for pretty much everyone.
Yeah.
I don't think any of these would be impossible to apply to a new character.
No.
So that's what I would like to see, ideally. But it's just, it feels good to vent about this and talk about it, because we've been talking about it for years now.
We have.
And it comes up every time we watch a Burger King commercial on TV, or God help us, when we go into the restaurants. And I mean, I don't know how we eat fast food full stop anymore.
Yeah.
And actually, I do know how DoorDash. We don't have to go there and let someone else experience the night terrors.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you very much for joining us for this past hours. We discussed why all the fast food mascots are silly creepy, and they are, and ways you might be able to integrate that creepiness into your haunt. This has been Haunt Weekly episode 314, talking about that very thing. Check out more of us at hauntweekly.com, Haunt Weekly on Twitter, Haunt Weekly on Facebook, youtube.com/hauntweekly is the YouTube channel. You can also catch us at Apple Podcast, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, anywhere else you get your podcast from. And in the new year, starting back in 2022, Sunday, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, we'll be doing these live. We're definitely doing it at facebook.com/hauntweekly, maybe also live streaming to YouTube too.
Okay.
So until next time, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And we will see you all next week, and we do not know what the topic is, so please feel free to go all the aforementioned places and leave suggestions. We don't got something picked out next week. See y'all then.